you know, and we can actually do that with more power. We can increase the power, but before we can do any of the big projects like that, we need access to a lot of resources very, very fast. What's up, people? I'm Xogue, and welcome to my world. We're here, we're doing things back on FTB Unstable Minecraft 1.10. Now, before we even get started, I do want to say, if you like what I do here, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you would like to support me, don't forget to check out the Patreon and donation links that I have down in the bottom place area. Now, I seem to have made a mistake. Well, not really a mistake so much as I zoomed way ahead of where I was supposed to go. You see, I went in here and I saw the ectoplasm. I pulled out a bunch, thinking that if I click on here, it would only work one at a time. Well, instead, it did the entire stack at once. So now we have increased the roof by 64. It's now 64 high. I've laid a bunch of torches just so we can actually see the top. But the weird thing is that if we go up, you see it starts to turn a different color. It's like green. It's weird. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's really kind of interesting. Anyway, also, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not, but I have gotten another keyboard. I finally got my new keyboard in, but the keys are a little loud. It's kind of cool in its functionality. I have certain keys I can program to do certain macros and stuff like that, but I don't know how loud it's going to be in relation to, you know, everything else. So you might hear it a little bit. Hopefully it's not too bad. If it is, I'll return it and get a new one. But right now we're going to deal with it. We're going to see how it is. Anyway, today what I wanted to do is actually, we're going to do a little bit of a talky bit here, as well as a little bit of reorganization in here. I might try to progress a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how much time I have and stuff and to do things. Now, the first thing that I want to do as far as organization is actually, I want to make a second power cell in here. I want to make a second one of these guys, and I don't know exactly how to do it. First and foremost, I need to get the power cell thing this. Can I do this? I don't know. Now, the first thing that I wanted to talk about today is actually, let's see what we have in here. I have the emerald. Actually, that's pretty good. I like that. Do I have enough? I should have enough. I went and got a whole bunch of stacks of redstone, so that's not a problem either. And then this, I need some quartz in order to get this going. So, quartz. Now, first thing I wanted to talk about is actually a new thing. I don't know how new it is, to be honest. It could be fairly, I have no idea. It could have been out for a couple weeks. I think it's pretty daggone new, though. I don't know exactly when it came out, but I did start uploading videos to Twitch. Twitch now has a video section that you can get into. Oh, yay, look, it's nighttime. Let's go ahead to our bed. Shut up, witches! I know you're getting hurt, but sheesh! Shh! Slash time set day. There we go. All right. Now, Twitch has a video section, so I've been uploading my videos there. Now, obviously, there's only been a couple of views total over the entire collection of videos I have over there, which is only like 5 or 6. I don't know. It's not a huge amount. But I have been uploading there, so if you're curious about that and want to check that out, I would appreciate the support. Go follow me on Twitch, and we'll see how things progress overall. It actually makes it easier to donate money on Twitch than it does on YouTube, because there's a direct link underneath Twitch. And if you are viewing this on Twitch, by the way, I appreciate it. There is links down there to go to Patreon and Twitch, or Patreon and donation and stuff. So if you wanted to check that stuff out there, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Most of it only pertains to streaming, which I used to do, but I'm going to leave that until we see how successful Twitch is in a video light kind of thing. So hopefully it works out okay. Hopefully I can do this. Oh, you're not quite on it. Please? Yes. Thank you. So I wanted to touch on that and just let you know that that is a thing that I'm doing. The other thing is that in the last video, I told you guys that if you wanted me to talk about anything in particular, to go ahead and leave a comment about it. And of course, Chris, you're always there with the talking comments, talking topics, because, well, you like the talky episodes. You like the ideas behind the person, which is really interesting to me, and I appreciate the interest you show in that. It's really cool. But the first topic you gave me there was about virtual reality, and I'm not entirely sure what to talk about in virtual reality, my beliefs in it, maybe. I'm not sure. Oh, it's installed. Oh, perfect. I don't even have... Cool. All right. That's good. I didn't think it would work like that. That's pretty neat. Anyway, virtual reality as a whole is pretty cool. I'm about to show my age here because one thing about virtual reality that I want to say is that a long time ago, a pretty long time ago, it used to be a little bit of a controversial subject because people were like, if it seems so real, then if you die in the game, what happens in real life and all this other stuff, it would trick your brain into thinking you died. I don't know. It wasn't much of a controversial subject, but there was a few people who thought like this. Oh, hello, Botania Shard of Laputa. We're going to have to get into you at one point. I want to make one of these islands. I think that'd be really freaking cool. But anyway, so that's just something that was kind of there. I never believed that that would be a thing. I really didn't. I did not think that would be a thing, but it's an interesting concept to think that maybe something would be that real. Oh, I love that this is the enhanced one. This is the regular one. I love that they have a secondary crafting method for this, so you can turn 1 into 8. That's really cool, because I don't have a bunch of the regular ones, right? It's the regular ones that I have. Let's see, conduit. I have 5 regular ones, so I can make that. I can make the second tier one with these 5. So I need a bunch of conduit binders, which I have. And then I need a bunch of these guys right here, which is what? Glowstone, gold, and redstone. Okay, so glowstone, gold, and redstone. Perfect. That I have the gold and glowstone. Glowstone, there we go. I don't have too much of that. We're going to have to go get some of that. And redstone, right? It was redstone. I already had a bunch of redstone here. Perfect. I think this is it. Yes? Seems like that would be it. It's going to take a little while to get. But we'll have 8 of them here in just a second because that turns into 8. Yes, it does. Perfect. And then we'll have 5,120, which I think is decent for now. We can upgrade them again later, naturally. That's what we have. But for now, we're not going to worry about that too much, just because I think 5,000 is going to be good as far as the transfer rate for this. Now, virtual reality is something I want to get into in the future. It's a really, really cool thing. I love the idea of virtual reality. It's hard to show in a YouTube video or in this now recently Twitch video, in any video, really. But it is something I want to give it. I want to give it a shot because it would be very, very interesting to me to see that. And I don't know. I want to play with it, but it does cost a bunch of money to get into in the first place, and I don't have that accessible at the moment. So yeah, gonna have to wait on that for a little while. Eventually, I will get into it though. And we'll have to see exactly how it works at that point in time. But for now, can't really do much about it. But that's all you can really say about virtual reality. Also, there's something about the YouTube Red. YouTube Red, I kind of sort of know what this is. I don't know a whole lot about it. Because YouTube Red, from what I thought it was just a way you basically pay. It's like a subscription to YouTube. And if you do that, you can gain, basically it's ad-free viewing of YouTube. That's what I thought it was. But apparently, from what Chris is telling me, that it's the new Netflix or a new Netflix or a variant of Netflix, which is interesting. It's a really cool concept. And I love the idea that they are giving people the option of removing ads. Like, it's a really, really cool thing to do. How do I want to set this up? I don't even know at the moment. Bloop. There we go. The first thing is that I need to make sure power remains to this. I think one corner is going to be our network here, this stuff. And since this is still cooking up that, I'm going to break this side here. So give me all of you. And we're going to bring you as well, even though you don't need power. The rest of this is not refined storage stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put the controller right beside it. And then I'm going to connect all these guys because since the only one of them needs to do that, we'll put that there, put the disk drive here, and then we'll put this in there. There's all our items. You should be able to get everything. Perfect. So now there's that thing. I guess we'll put the solder over here. Even though it doesn't need power, it can go right beside it. It'll be fine. Okay, so there's that. And going up, we can also just kind of create, we can create more disk drives, I guess. and kind of lay them in line like that, even though we may not even need this at all. We may not need these at all. For now, we're going to leave them just in case we decide to put something else there that does need power, or for example, on this side that might need power. But right off the bat, not really much that I'm worried about there. Now, this guy here needs to move for now. There's 5 of those. Let's wait for one more. Okay. Whew. Okay, now we have 6. I can go ahead and do that and break these guys. All right. Anyway, so YouTube Red. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about YouTube Red. I mean, I love the concept that they're, you know, offering the ability to get rid of ads. But other than that, I don't know what it is. Is it really a Netflix-like thing? Like, can you get regular old movies and TV shows? Or is it still only YouTube stuff? Because if it's only YouTube stuff, that's pretty cool. Even if they had, I want to say that I saw a different section, like a YouTube Red section that looked like the whole user interface was different, I think. But it might have been something else entirely, and I don't know exactly what that would have been. But I don't know. It's interesting. Is that something that they do? Eventually, I'm going to want sag mills here. I'm going to have power go... You know what? Let's go ahead and get this stuff here. Let's go ahead and tear this down for now. Because these can come in handy if I go like this. And that way I can have a few sag mills going over here, and then I can put the alloy smelters in this place. And that would connect via this way. And I can turn you off. I can disable you because that just looks a little tacky having them connect, you know, in 2 different places like that. And then I can have sag mills over here and alloy smelters here. And of course, since we have Ender IO, we have all the other conduits that we can do as well, including items and all that good stuff. And we can take in and out via this and run the cables over to the other side. And at the end, we can have a chest going in and out so that way we can automatically process things that way, which would be pretty cool. So we can fly here and do that. Now, but yeah, so YouTube Red is the new Netflix. I don't know. That's a thing. Let me know what you think about that, because I really don't know much about YouTube Red. Now, this next one, I do have some thoughts about. And this is about indie games being diminished or killed by the big companies. Now, what does this mean exactly? This means not necessarily being killed, but also being overshadowed. Like, there's a lot of games coming out from a lot of really big companies that just take all of the publicity. A lot of the smaller indie games aren't being found because they're already occupied with other games that are coming out for all of these other systems and stuff. And it's kind of a shame. It really is. Like, I love the concept of indie games. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to be excellent quality. I mean, they could be crappy quality, but who cares? It's not necessarily about the quality of the game or the quality of the graphics or audio of the game. It's more about the quality of the ideas behind the game. Now, what I mean by that is different concepts and stuff. Like, what is a game built on? What is the story like? Is it a good story? Are the ideas that went into it different and outside the box? You're going to lose a lot of outside the box thinking by sticking to only the bigger companies and their games. What am I trying to do now? I need to get on the thing for this. I think I'm kind of... What else do I have in my inventory? Oh, I have the soul binder that I can put on the other side. That's something I can do. Give me you, and we're going to go here. And that way we can go in and out via here as well. Oh, wait, no. Nope. There we go. Give me... Oh, yeah, it's going to be here, and then it's going to go below it. There we go. That's better. And then I can disconnect this other one over here if I could get to... I can't really get to it. Actually, I can. Right here. Perfect. There we go. So now that's there, and I can just kind of throw these guys in a corner, I guess, for now. I guess I'll put them over here in this corner just to get them kind of out of the way, because they're kind of random use things that aren't really going to be used by a whole lot of things, but I still want access to them. So we can throw those into a corner, and they're good to go. And then I can go to my system here and do this and be good there. Now, actually, I can go ahead and do this some more. Yeah, boy, that's what I'm talking about. All right, cool. Now I have a bunch more of these, and I can actually extend this further if I do so deem it proper. All right, now I'm working on something else here, as you can tell, but what I need are actually 2 soul vials filled with Enderman. And it is nighttime, actually. I could roam around on the surface to try to find them, which I might do. I'm still toying with that idea, but hello there, you stupid. How are you? But what I can do is, if I'm lucky enough, sometimes an Enderman will spawn outside of this guy. Like when he lands, when I open this gate, it'll land and then it'll spawn outside of it. I don't know why, but sometimes they glitch outside and they'll end up standing like right here and shaking and stuff. So I'm hoping that'll happen again. If nothing else, they do have the most health out of anything else. So usually they're one of the last ones to die, and I should be able to grab them that way as well. So it shouldn't be too incredibly difficult to get them, if I can do this properly. But there is none here. Give me all the things. There we go. So our inventory is going to fill up with all of the items that we have. And it'll be a little interesting. I want to go ahead and collect this before we start talking about stuff again. So let me go ahead and get the 2 Endermen that I need inside of this vial, and then we'll continue with the whole crafting and placing things. Which, the next thing to get is... Oh, I know what... Okay, I remember now. It's something that's going to help us out a little bit. Quite a bit, actually, you know, moving forward. So it'll be pretty cool. Happy birthday! That was to my sister. It's my sister's birthday today. And I've been through a lot. No, I needed the silicon. No, come back, silicon. How many did I need? 4, right? Okay. I think I have only put away the things that I don't need. I think. Okay, now. Yeah, so it's my sister's birthday today. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I'm actually kind of curious. All right? I'm curious about what the best birthday you've ever had was. All right? The best possible birthday. Because things like that, I don't know, they're kind of interesting. I'm always curious about what kind of birthdays other people have compared to my own. Because I wasn't raised in like a rich family or anything like that. I mean, we weren't poor by any means. I mean, we were, you know, just like on a regular, whatever. We had enough to pay the bills, but we didn't have a whole lot extra. Families went on, you know, family vacations every now and then, but nothing major. You know, little trips to amusement parks or whatever. But it wasn't anything too extravagant. So, you know, my best birthday. Let me think about that for a minute. What exactly would my best birthday be? Probably when I was a kid. Way back when I was a kid. I don't know. I was living in Virginia at the time, and the only thing I really did, like, I remember the cake, I remember the presents, and that stuff's always good, especially as a kid. You know, it's really exciting to get stuff, to get, you know, whatever kind of thing. What did I need? Oh, this is a regular crafting recipe, I think. Let's go into here. Okay, so, you know, it's really fun to get presents. It's really fun to get all that kind of stuff, but other than that, it was just a great time, because you had friends. I had a whole bunch of friends over. We had like water balloon fights, because my birthday's in June, so you know, we always celebrated. It was summer, so it was a nice day outside. We went outside, filled up a whole bunch of balloons. We had like picnic tables and stuff outside. We set all the presents. It was like an outside thing. It was a whole lot of fun. It was really cool. I had a bunch of friends over, and we just kind of hung out and threw water balloons at people. My dad joined in and kind of grabbed the water hose. You know, of course, he grabs it straight from the spigot. None of us kids think to just grab the water hose and start spraying people, so he does. And he grabs this thing, and he just kind of, I don't know. Give me another one of those. I do have another one. Perfect. Do I have enough for the triple layer capacitor? So do you? Oh, I need to glow. Oh, crap. I don't have any energetic things. Oh, am I cooking them? Please tell me I'm cooking them. Oh, did I not get enough? I thought I got enough of those. Energetic. I need this stuff, which means more gold, more glowstone, more redstone. Sheesh. I thought I had enough for it. All right, 2. Do I need 2? Wait, what do I need? I need 2 vibrants. I thought I had the vibrant. I could have swore I had the friggin' vibrants. I know I did. Oh, what? No. Oh, okay. No, I'm tracking now. I need 2 vibrants, which means I need 2 of these guys. Okay, no, I'm fine now. But yeah, so my dad grabs the water hose. He actually starts spraying all the kids and everything. We're running around shooting water guns and water balloons. A huge water balloon fight. And I don't know, it was just a good old time. It felt like it lasted forever. It was one of those days, one of those rare times where even the good felt like it took forever, which was great. It's just good times because you're a kid, you know, you don't have to work. You don't have to do anything. You just kind of chill for a while, throw some water balloons at people, you know. I think I actually had a couple of friends that were not necessarily friends. They were kind of half friends, but they lived in the neighborhood, and you know, so they kind of wandered over on their own. They just kind of joined in the fight, and it was, I don't know, it was a whole lot of fun. It was a blast. That was probably my best overall birthday. I don't remember what gifts I got, though. And there's another thing. What was the best gift you ever got? What was the best present? Christmas or, I don't know about other religions or anything like that. Christmas is what I celebrate. So, you know, Christmas presents included, birthday presents, things like that. The best presents you ever get. Or any other holidays that you do celebrate, that you do partake in, that you get presents. Any of those included. What's the best gift you ever got? Doesn't even have to be on a holiday. It could be whatever. It could be a random Tuesday. Your parents just decided to buy you something. Whatever. The best gift. That one is one that I'm probably going to have to think about for a little bit. But I do need to smelt up some more of these guys. I need a couple more ender pearls here in order to get a couple of vibrant ingot things. So I need these to go in here and go like that. So while these are cooking, I'm going to think about that. I'll see you back in a second. Okay, so favorite present. What would it be? In my mind, the present, I don't need what do I need for the big one? Oh, a piece of glowstone. I need to get that. That's not a problem though. You go, bam, done. Now I need, this is what I was trying to get. Hopefully I have enough. Oh man, I need another capacity. Okay, I can't do 2 of them at the moment. This is what I was working on getting before we jump into the favorite present thing. This guy right here. I have 2 of everything, I think. I have 2. I have another one of those. I have 2 more of those. I have another one of those. I have 4 more of those. So I have 2 of everything except another octatic capacitor. This is the only thing I'm missing right here. I need a couple more of everything, which I'll probably work on off camera. Well, I'll work on it while I'm talking, I guess. But this is the dimensional transceiver. And this is what I want. This is the next thing that I want to work on because I want to start doing some mass production of things. I want to start getting things set up in a way, hence why we're reorganizing in here, that allow us to do the bigger projects like the mass alloy smelting or the mass sag mill or whatever, you know, and we can actually do that with more power. We can increase the power, but before we can do any of the big projects like that, we need access to a lot of resources very, very fast. So the way I'm going to do that is actually to move the collection of items that we get from a quarry into this chamber, into this room, and I can use as much vertical space as I need in order to accomplish that. And we can literally hold all of the items that we're going to get from a quarry inside here, and I won't have to change anything. Now, granted, I will have to look around when I want something, and we'll have to kind of keep in mind the fact that I'll be flying around over and over again until I find the one item that I need out of a quarry, but it'll work, and that way we're not going to bog down a system with a whole bunch of stuff from a quarry. Now, eventually, I suppose we can make some more disk drives, storage disks, and actually get it to work that way, and we'll have plenty of room in that case. I mean, 64,000, we only have 17,000 so far with everything that I've gathered in this entire series so far, which is actually kind of impressive. Minus the stuff from the quarry, of course. But that's pretty cool. It's not bad at all. But yeah, I want to start working on that. But I do need to start getting the second one, which means I need more of everything. And if I go back to capacitor, I don't have any capacitors yet. Now, my favorite gift of all time, it's not really my favorite now. Like, if I were to get this gift today, it wouldn't be all that amazing to me. Not that it would be bad or anything. It's just not something that would amaze me like it did when I was a kid. But I remember walking upstairs one Christmas and glowstone, redstone, gold. I need a couple more of those. Glowstone. Ooh, down to 6 glowstone. Gonna have to go get some more of that soon. Redstone. I remember walking upstairs one Christmas and I didn't know what it was, but my parents had covered some very, very large object with like a huge Christmas bag. Like it was enormous. It was the size of me. And granted, at the time I'm like 10, so I'm not like massive. I'm not a fully formed human yet, but it's still pretty big. I mean, a 10-year-old is not really small in gift giving size. So it was very, very interesting. I was so curious. I need a couple of these, don't I? Because I need 2 capacitors. Why are you here? And then this. Yeah, because I need, yeah, okay, I'm going to need 2 more of each. So I need 4 of each. I don't know what I was doing. Let's go ahead and get these guys started, though. So I went upstairs and I saw that. And the way it works for me, at least in my family, the way I saw this, the way Christmas worked, I'll say it that way. The way Christmas worked for me is that we would always wake up before our parents. We would always wake up before them. And we would get a glimpse of all of the wrapped presents. We would see everything that Santa brought, because right early in the morning is when you would be able to see everything. So we always ran upstairs and kind of looked at it just to see everything in all of its glory, sitting under the tree and everything. Just all of the presents that were sitting there. And it was always so awesome. It was always so great. But this one Christmas in particular, I went upstairs. We went upstairs and because it's me and my brother at the time, and we were just like in amazement of how big this gift was and how you couldn't even wrap it with ordinary wrapping paper. It had to be a huge bag just kind of laying over top of it. It would have been so easy to sneak a peek that, well, I mean, we didn't, not this year anyway. I'll get to that story in a minute, but it was just crazy. And when we uncovered it, it was like this huge, massive Lego set. It was absolutely crazy. So many pieces. It was huge. And I think it was designed to make some kind of like statue-like Lego thing. I don't know exactly what it was. I don't even think we ever finished it, to be honest. We just kind of played with the Legos because there were so many of them. We just did whatever the crap we wanted. We didn't actually make the thing that it was intended for, which is kind of weird, really, but it is what it is. So now I need, oh man, I'm gonna need more crapo. Okay, so 1 2 1 2 and then 1 2 1 2. It was like that, right? Yeah. And oh, coal. I should have gotten the coal at the same time, but I didn't. Crap, that's not how you spell coal. So yeah, that's a thing. Now the other story I was talking about, that was probably, I don't know, just that was a good Christmas. That was really cool. I loved seeing all that stuff. But what I was talking about before, about how we didn't unwrap it, at least not this year, or whatever, I said something like that, is that once we got older, me and my brother, once we got older, we got a little more bold with the gifts. Because we always knew we would wake up hours before anything. Hours before, you know, the morning Christmas, before our parents would wake up, basically. So we would always go upstairs, and what we did is we would go upstairs and we carefully unwrapped certain gifts. Not too many of them, just like 1 or 2, just because we were that impatient. We were so crazily impatient that we would go in and unwrap a couple of gifts very, very, very carefully without tearing the wrapping paper, without doing anything, just to sneak a peek so we would know what it was, and then we would wrap it back up. Which is very, very bad. Don't do this if you're still young enough for all this stuff. But don't do that. It's very bad. Santa will get mad. A couple of the presents were from Santa and some were from our parents. There should be a second one. Okay, there is. So there's that kind of a thing. I don't know. It was pretty interesting. It really, really was. It's probably the thing I'm most ashamed of, because you ruin the surprise by doing that. I love the surprise. The surprise of the thing is part of gift giving. You know, figuring out how well a person knows you by the gift that they give you is kind of interesting, and it's an interesting little thing. Oh, I need another one of you. Oh, I don't have, no! Oh, man. Okay, so I actually just crashed, and then I'm back. I just had to reload the game again. Anyway, so what we're doing now is that we finally have the last little piece here to go ahead and continue with this. I should be able to do this, and then this, and then this, and give me this guy with this. There we go. So now I have the last one, and then therefore I can make the last transceiver, and now I have 2 of them. So I don't exactly know how these guys work, but I do know that I want to send, basically I want to send all of the items from our mining dimension that we get from the quarry into our key dimension. Now, I don't really have the time to do all of this just yet, but I wanted to take a little bit of a look. Hopefully I don't crash right here. Let's see. Please no. Lots of dimensions loading right off the bat. Okay. No, we're good. See, I'm going to need a little bit more drawers. I'm also going to need probably some storage upgrades for these guys, because right now 32 stacks of gravel is fine, but 32 stacks of iron, probably want to have a little more than that on hand, just in case for some reason we need a huge batch of iron and I don't know, maybe 32 stacks is enough. But some of this stuff in here, 32 stacks is probably fine, but I would want more. And it looks like this, oh, this guy, by the way, I turned off because our power cell, that's what it is, it was drained. We drained our entire everything from that. All of this went bye-bye. The power just disappeared. And it was kind of unfortunate. I would rather quarry out for resources. Now, I know certain resources you can only get by mining like this, but for right now, I think we're okay. I don't know why the laser's still going. I disconnected this. There's the energy right there. Anyway, whatever. But we're going to be setting up some stuff in the future as like moving this stuff, moving into the key dimension and everything. We'll set up our dimensional transceivers, see how exactly they work and all that good stuff at a later time. Right now, I am out of time. But we are out of time is what I was trying to say. Not sure when that last cut was, but we are out of time. So if you liked the video, don't let the like button get lonely. To see more, there's a subscribe button too. If you want to show your support, I have a Patreon and a donation link down in the bottom. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace out, peeps.
He's gonna come by. Oh man, if he's not paying attention, he's gonna get from behind. Here comes the world border.
All he's got to do is look down this a little bit. He's gonna see that world border. I know. He just gotta
turn around and see it. If he sees, there he goes. He sees
there.
It.
He sees it now. He's
like,
oh, he's running.
He's like, oh crap!
But he's stuck between the world border. He's stuck between the world border and stuff. You gotta go, man.
Oh no! Go!
So action packed.